course, the marketers. You see, these are people who play, high up there and the rates as the regular people of this country who feel the pinch of this outrageous pump price. We should have, temporary favorites, bearing it in mind that we have temporary favorites according to our own self-interest, because that's what they are doing, and that's the only way to play the game. This is about their own self-interest, and they came out over the weekend, especially the marketers, that look, we're looking for a margin, a profit margin. That's what we're looking for, and that's all. And nobody is going to say don't get that profit margin, because if you don't get it, of course, you will run out of business.
Sure.
But the point is, what is the margin? Nobody has told us that. Now, throughout the tirade of the Dangote refineries that said we have we disagree with that, it's misleading, it's mischievous. At the end of the day, they didn't mention one price like this. Right through the entire rebuttal and denial, they didn't give us anything to work with, because I ran through the whole thing meticulously. And look, we understand the notoriety of the marketer. We also know the past of NNPC. Switching your name from NNPC to NNPCL does not fool anybody. We know it's still the old game and everything, but people have a duty. If you are going to inform us about anything, you have a duty to come clean with us. Now, if you say they are misleading, they are mischievous and everything, what are you then? Because at the end of the day, you didn't even give us anything. The only thing they said was the current price cannot be real, because they still acquired some crude with, they are still acquiring with dollars right now inside this place, that the regime of Naira exchange has not kicked off.
Wow.
That's part of what they said. And if that's true, for instance, because I don't know what's true anymore, I don't know who to believe.
Even from Dangote.
If it is true that they have not started this Naira exchange thing that we are all excited about,
That will make things easier.
then, how would we be able to fix that price or even work at that price, that pump price that we could all say, oh, this is the best thing that could happen to everybody? So they are still keeping everybody, in that position. They are still shrouding everything up in some kind of veil of secrecy, and we simply don't know at this point who is even fooling who. We don't know, because where is the cost that Dangote has even arranged for us to say, okay, because you are our favorites at this point, when we feel we could trust you, there's nothing coming from there, other than to say, today marketers are doing this to me, tomorrow marketers are doing this, and saying at all times, like campaigning like a politician will campaign. Yes, we have the interest of the people at heart. We want this thing to function for. Yes, we know you have expressed goodwill so many times, but when it comes to brass tacks, you're not giving us anything to work with too. Because if we get something to work with, we'll be able to say, okay, this is coming from NNPC, this is coming from marketers. We don't have anything to work with, even coming from you.
All right, but as last week, I think we still had some clarity, and we still thought that yes, the Naira deal is already going on, but now we're seeing it is yet to kickstart.
It hasn't started. That's what they said, and I believe that much, that it's not started. And the way they are saying it's not going to even start immediately. I think it will take maybe about two weeks from here on, or something like that. It's expected to start maybe sometime this before September, runs out.
So Dangote, NNPC, marketers, it is all a game.
Everybody, I mean, you know that now. If you are a Nigerian tracking the oil industry, it's always been a game. If you just note anytime they are doing this, there's no fuel thing. You know, the first indicator of this game is that there is fuel, but it's been manipulated. Its availability is being manipulated. Most of the time, that's what you see. So it's a game.
All right. From the market forces, we have the executive vice president of downstream at NNPC. That is in the case of Dakpo Shego. In a video shared to one of our Punch correspondents yesterday, he said, NNPC is not a regulator. NNPC has no regulatory powers. We can't say NNPC sets the price. The government is not involved. It is the market forces that set the price. So Dangote says to us, this is how much I want for it. And we say, hey, Dangote, if we go out there, we can get it for this much.
It doesn't even cut it. What he's saying is not even, it doesn't relate to the situation on ground at all. So you cannot be saying this today and be saying another thing tomorrow. This idea of NNPC cannot set price and so on and so forth, it's even ridiculous. For anybody at this moment to be coming out to be saying that. Who fixed the current one that we are buying? No, who did that? Is it market forces? So when these people, sometimes when they talk, I think they talk, just to say something that they throw it at us to be grappling with that until they find another thing to say. So are you saying that the people, the marketers, the oil marketers who are saying we don't have a cost yet, is Dangote who's going to fix it, they don't know what they are saying? Is it that they don't know what they are saying? Aren't you in the same industry? And then how are you going to be able to tell Nigerians that you can't peg this price just for this occasion, but you have been pegging it since?
What is different?
So I don't know sometimes what they are saying, it doesn't cut it at all. And I think it's because it's a game. That's why people are being dishonest about everything.
But we had so much hope with a Dangote coming up.
I don't think that hope is gone. I don't think the hope is gone yet.
Okay.
I think there is because you see, they are not going to be able to get away with this 800 and something that they're yes, and it's anything that is. I don't believe that there wouldn't be, that they won't collect political consequences severely for it, because look, things are truly tough. This is not about politics. You know that we don't play their partisan nonsense. This is real. The difficulty, the hardship in town is real, and it's worse than ever before. And so for someone to be standing somewhere to be saying we can't fix price, we can't do this and that, while you have been doing precisely that all along, up till this point, that person is not even talking as a realist, as someone who sees what is on ground today in this country. That thing has to be done one way or the other, that is going to grant some reprieve, some relief to Nigerians. I'm not one to say, oh, the rice is useless, the money is useless, is too, because it's nonsense to be saying that. The rice is useful to people. Whoever is going to eat it at the end of the day will know, okay, this one is out, even if it's one meal.
And not a aristocracy.
The money is useful. Whoever gets 50,000 naira, you cannot be saying, no, that's not what we want. That's not what you want. Okay? So we understand all that. You're making some efforts. But the way to really make a serious effort is to ensure that that which affects all of us at once is made affordable.
Which is petrol. All right, we'll be back. Let's go pay some bills. So when we're back, we will still on this Dangote's petrol issue. Stay with us.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
I'm in love. Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Easy to open, easy to squeeze, easy to scoop, and easy to stir.
Sonia tomato mix in a new standard pouch. 18 months.
18 months.
Mr. Man, what did they happen for 18 months?
Nah, Hero Hunter, they are giving 18 months warranty on their motorcycles, so a whole 18 months.
18 months warranty on their Okada? You sure say you know what you dey talk?
Warranty na agreement when they follow product come. To sure say it stand well. Most machine na 12 months warranty them they get. But the Hero Hunter warranty, senior all of them with correct 18 months warranty. Complete 1 year and 6 months. You no go spend combo from your pocket to repair your Okada engine. Na Hero Hunter go carry am with full chest. We move. Na Hero Hunter motorcycle we go buy today. Hero Hunter, save fuel, save money.
Sister, come. This one are your size, 5 gig for just 1,500 naira. 5 gig care. You don't go sell. No worry, my sister. It go fit you well. Better if you don't want this one, I get other better one for here. 7 gig for just 1,500 naira. They no shaking.
Hey, now market be this. This other ones,
this one na 2 gig for just 500 naira. This other one, now 1 gig and just 300 naira.
Hey, pack every for me, I beg. I want all.
Yeah, now let's go.
It's more data at affordable prices with Glow Special Data Plans. Enjoy 7 gigabytes for just 1,500 naira, 2 gigabytes for just 500 naira, and 1 gigabyte for only 300 naira. Dial star 303 hash to enjoy. T's and C's apply.
Glow Unlimited.
I am pregnant. It is important for me to take care of myself and stay healthy.
To be strong and have a healthy pregnancy, take iron and folic acid tablets every day when you're pregnant. This prevents anemia and helps maintain a healthy pregnancy. Visit your healthcare provider for regular antenatal care. This message is from the Anring Project or your state's Ministry of Health.
You can stay ahead with Dairy Power. Stay ahead with Hollandia. You can stay ahead with Dairy Power. Stay ahead with Hollandia.
That's right. Hollandia dairy products contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients to help you stay ahead. Now available in a new look. Hollandia, stay ahead with Dairy Power.
Akitibo 88.7 FM.
All right, Babawale Oyewale says, schools are resuming. Is this how we are going to move in and out? So terrible.
That's not part of the analysis. We're analyzing.
All right, then. So, as it is now, we're yet to get direct information from Dangote. He's only telling us what is not and not what it currently is.
It's a game. And so, the person who is going to make a difference in all this is the president at the end of the day.
Okay.
And gradually, I think, the technical subcommittee, the committee that was set up to ensure that this comes to a fine end is hard at work. We can see that. Because, but for that committee, everything probably have collapsed according to the will of marketers who wants it to just be the old regime. And so, one problem after the other, they are finding solutions, the way I'm tracking it. Now, everything is set. Let's have this Naira exchange deal happen. So, Dangote is refining, but refining from what kind of supply of crude? At what cost? Dollars. Okay, even these dollars, how much is the thing happening, perhaps at the regular global market rate, which means it doesn't have the reflection of that naira to naira thing that we expected it to be on. And so we need that to start. We need to be able to see what is true and what is false here. At the end of the day, these oil marketers, no matter how much you shout, they're not going to relent. They are going to, this is a leopard that is not going to change its spots. NNPC, I doubt very much if anything is going to happen. But at the insistence of the president.
Okay.
And I guess the president at the end of the day is the one who is going to make a difference, because he not only has to think like a politician in high office, he also must come in as someone who wants to make a difference for millions of people in this country. This is not going to be, what is most, what's the most business-like decision. It's not going to be like that. It has to be about the people for once.
Even if they are connected with Dangote refinery.
If, for instance, this happens and we then go forward to make, bump the economy up a little bit, and people have more purchasing power, we can be talking about whatever we want to talk about then. But there's nothing in anybody's pocket now. The only people who have money now to burn are very, very few. Extremely few. And all those who thought they were millionaires yesterday are not millionaires anymore in this country. Inflation is eating away. The naira exchange, to the dollar is eating away. Everything is happening. And then we're having all this, skyrocketing pump price. It's bad. And, while we speak of all that, we also, because it's in the same vein, we also have to talk about the AGO that is crashing. That's diesel. Diesel cost is coming down, and we expect it to come down to more. From about 1,600 now we're talking about, I think, 1,100, which is good. So this is not about bashing anybody. We understand everything, and we're saying, okay, that's good. But the one that really goes to the heart of every Nigerian is the PMS that we seriously, have to address. And then the CNG thing, I think, because I see that people are queuing up to do their conversions in Lagos.
Yes, from petrol to CNG.
It has to be, in every state. It can't just be in Lagos alone. It has to be in every state, so that
it has been launched, but I don't think
we've not seen the action.
We've not.
So let's see the centers where people can go and do this conversion, because it's going to make a difference. While we're at that, let's bring in as many electric bikes as possible. Do electric vehicles even now. So, but I'm afraid of that electric vehicle because of our roads. Again, I say that. So we need to do everything possible. In the world today, people are already at advanced stages of using water to run vehicles.
Wow.
Yes, in Japan, in Israel, they've gone way ahead, in this direction. So we do everything to ensure that this oil thing will not kill us.
And yet here we're still on petrol price day in, day out. All right, Maestro, let us move on from that to these news saying that yesterday the former President Olusegun Obasanjo flew in from Benin City to Minna, the Niger State capital, and immediately headed to the residence of the former military president Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. Also in attendance was Abdulsalam Abubakar General and a former National Security Advisor General Aliyu Gusau. Making 4 elder statesmen, and they said they were locked in a closed-door meeting for about an hour before Obasanjo left Minna. And people have been saying, this can be nothing but about the state of the country right now. Do you think the coming together of such people can make a difference at this stage?
No, wow. I don't think so.
The second, Maestro.
It's 7 a.m. on Agidigbo 88.7 FM.
You think it wouldn't make any difference?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
Why should it make any difference? They've all run the state at different points in their military careers, and they didn't make any difference. They got things worse, and one of them also returned as civilian president, and he didn't transform anything. So, and that's when they were strong and young, relatively, and everything. So is it now that they are not young and strong anymore that they are going to make a difference?
You know what they said about 2 heads better than one?
It doesn't
now
really
4
matter
heads.
to me if we waste our time with all this kind of speculations that they're generals. They have history to share in the military, and so if they see one another now at this moment
You think
in,
it
in
is
life.
about history sharing.
It's not bad for them to come together. Even to discuss the country is not bad. But to go ahead, far ahead of yourself to say they're going to make a difference, I've seen enough, more than enough to know that they're not going to make any difference. Whatever it is they are coming together to do. And sometimes you have, when God gives you health in old age, and you could bounce around a little bit, you do that because it's good. And it's a way of showing gratitude to God who gave you that kind of strength, that you're still relevant and you could still move about a lot. And that's good for all of them.
All right. This comment from Abimbola says, "Good morning, Wuraola. CNG conversion started in Ibadan last weekend. In fact, Ibadan was one of the priority locations. Please, if you have the locations in Ibadan, please do well to share with us so that we'll know." All right. Moving on from that, let us talk about the Maiduguri
No,
flooding.
don't let's move on because it's very important to share this with our reporters too. That we really have to be on such things and show. So when we say government is wrong, it doesn't look like we are dedicated to saying government is wrong. Let's show when government is doing something, no matter how small, so that when we start saying you are wrong, they will understand that we're saying that from a very clean position.
All right, then. Talking about the government, yes, Tinubu gave ministers 1,200 bags of rice each as palliatives for distribution. And I think that was part of what Shiwere was talking about yesterday, talking about orisacracy, rice system of government. He said it's more or less like the response of government to anything happening is sharing.
You know why I'm just not interested in whatever this guy says? It's because he's a contestant. And so just wait for when you become president and do it right. That's the only way for him. Look, if you did not go into it at all, one would have been saying you're an activist. So you didn't contest, you're an activist. But when you keep contesting at the head of a political party, you cannot now be doubling as an activist anymore. That's the way I see this thing. And he's one of those activists who has a long history of activism and is, cool. But I don't understand this idea of being an activist and an active and contesting politician at the same time. So it's very difficult. Now he occupies this unique position. The position of somebody we knew as an activist, a foremost activist first. And now you're contesting. You did not contest. You're contesting. You head a political party. You always contest when that time comes. I don't know how to reconcile that.
Talking about him being picked up yesterday briefly at the airport.
Yes.
He said, however, he has been released and also his passport, they've been released as well. But he said he said he knew he was on a watch list before coming home. But that
it was advertised.
Exactly.
There's nothing like, it's not secretive.
But he said while he was in detention, he tweeted about the issue. And then later, some of the DSS operatives came to him and said, whatever it is that they verified something and he can go. But he said he mentioned something about one of his bags missing and all that. But then particularly on the issue of treason, he said it is not his first time being accused of treason in this country. And he also mentioned that President Tinubu too has been accused of this before, which made him leave the country. But now Shiwere said that would never make him say, "Oh, I'm not coming to Nigeria."
It's not the same thing.
Okay.
It's not the same thing that if you are talking about Abacha situation, I think he's trivializing a very powerful moment in the history of this country. But he was also in trouble. Like I told you, the guy is a foremost activist. And for me to say someone is a foremost activist, that is big deal. Because there are very few, in that fold. And he's also been doing it since he was a very young person. The problem I have today is that if you are going to be a contesting politician, a politician.
Okay.
You have to be a politician.
Fully.
And then what you do is political activism. And I understand that. But I cannot see you in the light of that old activist anymore. Because going into politics entails a lot. You are going to gather your own baggage. There is no way you will not. And part of that is that you are the chairman of your own political party. Always. And it made some people fall out with him. And then you're also the presidential candidate constantly. You understand? And then maybe you are even the treasurer. So all these things would tell on you differently from somebody who just rose from home and is coming into his own activism. So I have to, in all honesty, consider everything. So these days, if as an activist you say, raise me some money, I want to go and protest in Nigeria, I'll need about $1 million. Who am I dealing with? Am I dealing with the person who wants to be president and has contested more than once?
Or an activist?
Or am I dealing with just a simple activist who has one mind about, turning things around, and that's the only way he sees he could do it? So who am I dealing with? That question is important to me. It might not be important to a lot of people, but it's very, very key to me. It's important to me.
And so the two can't mix, being a politician and being an activist.
That's why I said you could be a political activist. I could be, an activist in journalism.
Okay.
We've had people we called judicial activists. You could be an activist like that. But you see, the difference here is that you're combining your profession and you're being an activist along that line. You see? But, these things are not professions. If you are a politician, it's not a profession. And if you're an activist, it's not really a profession. But I'm saying there is a line, especially within our own context in this country, there's a line there. Because when you begin to contest, there are some things that will happen. When you begin to contest elections, you have to fill up certain tanks, and we will look at you as such. Maybe even when on an occasion you're contesting, you told lies against other people. Maybe you told lies against some fellow contestants, right? So am I going to forget about that? No, I won't forget about a lot of things. I will put you to test that. Why are you always the chairman and the presidential candidate constantly? No, I'll be interested in that. I'll be interested
every 4 years.
I'll be interested in you explaining where the funds come from and how you expend them. You have to be able to do that. Because in any case, that's what you will tell people you are, holding your activism against. You're telling them to be transparent. You're telling them about accountability. You're telling them about a lot of things. And you also have to do those things. Because if you don't do those things, I begin to take you less and less seriously.
Like we have in the case of Labour Party.
Yes, that's going on. You see, these are the things that, when you have people, for instance, if, God bless his soul, if Chief Gani Fawemi started talking, I just listen, it's like magic. That, okay, he could do no wrong. It's not because he didn't contest before. But he contested and looked at the whole thing and said, this is a mess. I can't, make a headway here. And then he returned. That's why I said it's different if you contested. It's different from if you are contesting.
You want to get there.
So you want, when the next one comes now, he will still contest. So I don't know who I'm dealing with most of the time. So I have to make up my mind about which one of the... Is it the politician that I'm dealing with here, or is it the other one, the activist that I'm dealing with?
Okay. All right. Yes, in the news we have this one saying that federal government delivers 1,200 CNG kits to 5 states. They said the target is to have at least 18,000 vehicles running on CNG by the end of the year, with additional 250,000 conversion kits expected in the country before the end of the first quarter of 2025, and making us less reliable on
Yes,
petrol.
it's good if they keep it consistent and if they put it in the front burner, so that more and more vehicles, especially commercial vehicles, will be coming into that fold. You see, the truth is, individuals could begin to buy by themselves. The moment the market realizes, that's the international market, wherever vehicles are coming from, the moment they realize that, okay, this is what is selling in Nigeria now, trust me, these oil people, they are going to regret everything very soon.
All the problem we are having concerning petrol.
Yes, it's going to happen because they've gone overboard with everything. So you might have, maybe it's going to be a little bit more costly than, but people are going to start buying. And if I could get one, what's my business with all these things? I just get away. I saw a lot of people who are buying bikes at around 1.4, 1.5. And these bikes don't use diesel, they don't use petrol. You just charge and go.
Just like we shifted from kerosene to
it's going to happen.
To gas.
You see, we are way too resilient for some people to hold us to ransom. But it's just annoying, that, before we even show that resilience that we have in this country, we should show them that we are not idiots. And people are really fed up with this nonsense that's gone on for too long.
Do you know, I actually do, when I listen to people, they say it's because they know Nigerians will take anything. They know we will survive through anything.
No, I don't believe Nigerians take anything and that we will survive through anything. It's because of the frustrations built into the internal mechanism. People in this country could move as one. We can't move as one. The moment you want to move as one, you're going to see the ethnics will come, the religionists will come. Before you know it, we are scattered. So serious people have to get things done, but they know that you can't get things done if you don't bunch into a fold. Therefore, what happens is I go and find my way. It's not because Nigerians don't want to do some things. It's because of those mechanisms.
Which makes it almost impossible to come out as one.
They are so frustrating almost all the time. And when you see them coming together and doing their meetings, and pretending to be looking out for the interest of this country, they are simply looking out for their own interest. These are the people, they are the religionists, they are the people who lift religion and ethnicity when they want to divide us. But the weaker they become, the more they now want to get together as one.
All right then. Abimbola Ajinibi says CNG conversion locations in Oyo State. Number 1, Bovas Ajibode Retail Outlet along UL Road, Ibadan. 2 is Automation Autogas. 2, Podo Industrial Village. The third one is Nipple Gas Mobile Filling Station Tollgate. Yes, so we'll surely verify that and let our people know. Thank you so much for the information. All right, so let's go pay some bills now. When we're back, we'll continue the conversation. We'll be picking it up from the issue of Maiduguri flooding and what the updates are. Also, we'll be talking about Edo election, which is saying that international community is watching INEC. The world is watching us. We'll be back.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
I'm in love, Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Easy to open, easy to squeeze, easy to scoop and easy to stir.
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
Start your day and have a good time.
Keep on creamer.
And where you need to have the break time.
Keep on creamer.
It's not tea, papa garita.
Keep on creamer. Keep on creamer.
This is what happens when you borrow from people. Your mind no go rest, even in your sleep.
Please, I'll pay you back. Please, I will pay you back.
But with Glow, it's soft life. Borrow airtime or data whenever you need to and pay when you have it. No stress, no wahala.
Just dial *303# to borrow airtime or data from Glow anytime, anywhere, without any hassle. T's and C's apply.
Glow Unlimited.
ìjàgùdù òsì mọ́ kábàánilórúkọ jẹ́ fẹ́ lọ lórí káràkátà gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ ra mọ́tò ayọ́kẹ́lẹ́ ìrọ̀rùn tó fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀ tó dángájíá àbẹ́yìn tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ tà á iléeṣẹ́ rédíò àgídìgbò ti ṣàgbékalẹ̀ ètò ìrọ̀rùn fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin aráàlú tẹ́ ẹ ní mọ́tò tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ tà àbẹ́ rí mọ́tò tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ rà ṣùgbọ́n tẹ́ ẹ ń bẹ̀rù alágbèédá ó yá ẹ kàn ṣẹ́ka àgídìgbò atọ́kọ̀ṣe pẹ̀lú àwọn àlàálẹ̀ ètò tí fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀ níléeṣẹ́ rédíò àgídìgbò bẹ́ẹ̀ làǹfààní san díẹ̀díẹ̀ tún wà tẹ́ ẹ bá ti wá ṣe tán ẹ pè sórí àwọn nọ́mbà yìí 07034229105 tàbí 08028714663 àgídìgbò atọ́kọ̀ṣe ọkọ̀ gígùn dìrọ̀.
Legend, ọmọ ìyá mi ṣó ti get.
That's right. Hollandia Dairy Products contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients to help you stay ahead. Now available in a new look. Hollandia, stay ahead with Dairy Power.
Start your day and have a good time. Kivo Creamer. Oh, where you need to have the break time. Kivo Creamer. It's not tea or margarita. Kivo Creamer. Kivo Creamer.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
Update on the issue of the Maiduguri flood. They have declared 281 inmates missing. 7 have been recovered. And the writers to the story on the front page of Nigerian Tribune says a UN team arrives to Borno on assessment visit. Atiku in Maiduguri donates 100 million naira to victims. NAF lifts aid to flood-hit Maiduguri residents. Nigeria receives 50 tons of relief materials from UAE. And those are the updates we have concerning.
All right. The other part is, I think the state governor saying that thing has been on for about 9 years.
Yes.
So that tells us it's not just about natural disaster. It's part of it. It's a huge part of it. When you have that volume of rainfall, most likely you run into trouble. But it came, and it turned out to be more devastating because that dam has been faulty for about 9 years.
It's been there.
So that is a heavy, blame coming in the direction of the authorities who are responsible for the upkeep of that. So if you had that kind of problem, that kind of accident waiting to happen for about 9 years, and you did nothing about it, we shouldn't be blaming the heavens for this kind of thing. We should be looking at man.
Not natural.
It's like an accident waiting to happen for a very long time, and we had enough time to ensure that we prevented this thing, but we did not. And the blames should go to the appropriate authorities. Now, if the governor is pointing, in the direction of the federal government, that's justified. But the greater point is that maybe he should have been pointing way before now. Maybe he should have made his voice heard by everyone before now.
Zulum.
Yes, because if you had that kind of problem, you cannot be politically correct, and be playing caucus games, because it's going to affect a lot of lives. And so I think it's sad that we allowed this to happen. Look at the loss of lives. Look at people we put in serious discomfort. It's really sad.
They're even talking about health issues, fear of disease are growing because there are so many harmful practices there right now, washing and cooking with contaminated water.
That's the kind of report that you'll be getting, as if those same people used water that was good enough before. So, I mean, these are the kind of things that we refrain from accepting as, the standard of our reporting. When we were reporting, we were not doing this nonsense. Because you had to also be logical as a reporter. You have to open up your mind. So if somebody says I should come and be writing that into my report today, I'm going to be thinking immediately, were these people even using clean water before now? Did all of them have, access to clean water? What's the standard, of our water in this country, and that's the greater issue. It's not so, because this kind of stuff, it prevents you from focusing on the important things, when you are covering and reporting.
Such as there is one saying 400 million naira has been budgeted for this dam in 4 years. It's been there.
Now they will now say, okay, we are going to spend about 200 million on pipe-borne water or whatever, or clean water. And it's not going to be pipe-borne water at the end of the day. That clean water is just going to be some makeshift. And then somebody might, be smiling to the banks. This is why journalists should be very, very careful at, how we write, how we develop our stories, so that you don't put a lot of inanities and a lot of untruths in your report.
Okay. Yes. Right now, telecommunication operators are set to deactivate unlinked SIMs as deadline expires. But still in the news, we have this one saying that there's still people asking for extensions because they're having website problems.
Hello. Hello.
Well, I mean, this was in the news about when they had to give us extensions.
Is it about somebody being an oracle?
No.
It's not.
It's what we know to ourselves to be.
Didn't I tell you that we will come to this point? God sparing our lives. Well, thank God Almighty He spared our lives. And our people have not gone to do what they should do. This is Nigeria and Nigerians. And so when you understand your people, you think differently from people who refuse to understand themselves.
So, extension. But then, they said that this one, they are set to deactivate unlinked SIMs.
I'm not even interested.
For how long?
You see, what's more important right now in this conversation this morning is you found people who decided to go and be stoning and be destroying these places, and it appeared that they were doing something good, right? But no, it's not. It's not. And we behave like this more often than not. That we will know that we're at fault, that we will know that what we're doing is wrong, and we will still be forcing our way through.
I mean, there has been a deadline since when? All right then, Maestro. Serap sues Tinubu over petrol price hike, and also on the issue of NNPCL's probe.
Yes, I agree with this one. Serap is a fantastic operation. I believe that they should do this.
Suing Mr. President.
Yes, why not? Mr. President is an entity that could be sued and that could also sue people. Who even sued someone? I was reading something, and it's Malam Nasir El-Rufai. Malam Nuhu Ribadu.
Okay.
Who sued these people who were saying he did this and that. And, he wasted no time in suing them. I'm sure you'll get to that somewhere, maybe tomorrow. Anybody could sue anybody. So now, the only thing that you couldn't sue the president for are those things that might appear like, there are some things you could actually sue him over. And this one is probably going to allow the court to say, okay, let's reveal all the figures that, in the cupboards. Let's have it out in the open.
The probe.
If, for instance, we're talking about if some of the charges are about transparency and so on and so forth, I believe that journalists should also be at work using the Freedom of Information Act
yes,
to ask questions of the Dangote refinery, the NNPC people and so on and so forth. All these journalists who are dancing around the Dangote refinery and having a nice time, they should be able to ask a few of these questions.
You think they're having a nice time?
Oh, well, I know they're having a nice time. So, which is okay by me. I don't have a problem. But we can ask, some questions too and say, okay, how much did you get crude? How much this? I mean, these figures,
Explain to us.
they are very good for this moment.
All right then. Edo election. A PDP APC beaker over alleged planned removal of Obaseki's security. The state government is alleging plan to withdraw Obaseki's security. A detail. Anyalku is saying international community are watching INEC and others. Any manipulation will cause exodus of Nigerians to Europe. That one is coming from PDP. And they also want European Union to prevail.
What?
Any manipulation will cause exodus of Nigerians to Europe. Coming from PDP.
Okay.
And they also want European Union to prevail on INEC. Others to respect the will of electorates.
You see, the thing is, the Nigerian politician is an interesting character. Sometimes they just go into comedy, full-blown comedy. So if we have election manipulation in Edo State today, it will lead to mass exodus to Europe. I mean, I've not had anything more nonsensical in my time for a while. That's pure nonsense. Let us also establish that my view, the way I view elections in this country, is the way I define it as regular rigging. Period. People rig elections in this country. That's what we do. So anybody who wants to dispute that, good luck to them. The third thing that I want to emphasize is that Europeans have always come to observe the riggings, and they finish observing and they go home.
They know, they see.
They know more than you how you rig it and everything. So, but they will come, they will make this noise before they come. When they come, they will observe the rigging and they will go home. And they will not make any kind of, they will not tell you what they saw. They have a standard, mild statement. But when they get inside their planes, they will be cracking all the jokes in the world and be going home. Then, the other thing I want to add to that, let me tell you. Governor Obaseki, he contested when he was in APC and won. Then he contested as a PDP member, albeit an emergency member. He won. He contested when he had federal might behind him and won. He contested when he did not have federal might behind him. He also won. This man is the last person who should be talking about rigging anything in this country. He won under all circumstances. And, relate that to what I told you, that elections to me in this country is just about rigging. So, but you are only going to be able to rig when certain factors come together. You will be able to rig successfully. Now, when those factors don't balance very well, you will have an uphill task. It will look like a yeoman's job. So that's what's playing out. But if you have other realities, I will be interested in knowing other realities. Sometimes you have people overwhelmingly rooting for a particular candidate. It creates the right kind of optics. It creates the right kind of narrative. And it looks to all intents and purposes that this person is going to be the next so. But election gone itself, you have to understand it in Nigeria to go anywhere.
All right, let's allow people just join the conversation this morning. Let's hear from the people at home. And of course, you can also drop your comments on our Facebook page at Akidigbo 887 FM. The phone lines to call 0704 1001 887. But before then, let's listen to this.
Thank you for your attention. It's been lovely to have you keeping it locked on Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Now is the time to join in the conversation, to have the word, hear your voice, because we are the people's voice. Meanwhile, while you contribute to this program, kindly note that in accordance with broadcasting ethics, you are requested to keep your contributions modest, truthful, concise, and not offensive, inflammatory, or with tendencies to cause discomfort to anyone. Thank you. Now, let the conversation begin.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Well done. Ayodeji from Ibadan.
Okay, sir. Your contribution.
The fuel problem on ground now is unfortunate. It is not by mistake. It is deliberate. We know the people are not telling us the truth. I don't blame Dangote by all standards. He's a businessman and he has to do his business the way he likes it. But what about our government that refuse to do the needful? When you have leaders who are involved in petroleum businesses, there's no way they will tackle the problems in the petroleum industry. That is the problem. Now, when we say Dangote is coming, some of us said it's not going to solve any problem. But the government and some people are praising them. And now see what is happening. So the problem is now coming hard on the people because the petroleum prices is not on the reach of the people now. So the president is the one that should do the needful. Because many of the time we know what is happening now. And I pray that those people are coming together should come together and rescue this country from the hand of capitalists and tyranny. Good morning.
Good morning. 0704 1001
Sometimes, Wura, you should engage further by asking what is the needful. It's easy to hide behind such phrases. What is the needful? It's important.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, good morning. I'm calling from Ibadan. My name is Mr. Ali.
Okay, so your contribution.
I don't have much to contribute in what is happening about the news today. The only thing I just want to always clamor on every day is let's restructure this country. Without restructure this country, nothing will work.
All right.
Without restructure this country. Without restructure this country, even though we talk from now to 100 years coming, it will remain the same thing. That is the only thing that will make this country move forward. Or else, we'll continue like this. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution, sir. 0704 1001 887. Ajegbola Samuel says, it's so painful that the federal government of Nigeria, the NNPCO and Dangote, as well as the marketers, are playing mind games as they are playing with the intelligence of Nigerians. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Your name and where you're calling from, sir?
My name is Lucy Yunusa from Ishebo.
All right, sir. Please stay away from your radio set.
Okay, thank you. What I know about this country is that
you're still very close to your radio set, sir. Please turn it off completely.
To Babangida for anything in this country is a wasting of time.
Why?
Our president that they go to Babangida. Who is the root of this in this country? Is it not Babangida? It's Babangida now. What does he want to do now? Nothing. He can't do anything for us in this country. It's only God can help us in this country.
Okay.
Because people love money than peace. They love money than peace. If they see money, they won't worry about peace. They don't want peace in this country. That is why they ruin us like this. May God help us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Idris Adisa says, it is obvious that everything going on in the oil sector in Nigeria is a game of scam. And now we know the reason behind the quick jerking up of petroleum price by NNPCL. But they do not have any choice, and the price must come down. They are just buying time, and they are using administrative gimmick to deceive Nigerians. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Please, when you put your call through, stay away from your radio set as much as
Yeah,
possible.
can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Olafemi from Ibadan.
All right, your contribution.
Please, I want to. I didn't have much to contribute. I want to ask a question that this CNG we are talking about, ma, is it not extracted from the oil that is being exploited by the foreigners?
All right.
That is what I want to ask Mr. Maestro, ma.
Okay.
All right, I believe the most important is not even who is doing it. It's cheap and it could run your vehicle.
Okay.
So that's what is most important. But doing the conversion, we understand, is very expensive. So, which is why it's important for government to be a part of that, maybe to defray the costs of conversion and then go on from there. That's what I believe we should concentrate on right now. Of course, it's going to be coming from, that's why we say oil and gas. It's a different kind of gas, though, which functions very well and it's relatively cheaper.
Idris Adisa says, Baba Obasanjo is just making some moves of relevance and shaking the news. People are not really talking about him. Let Baba flex. Hello, good morning. Hello. Good morning, your name or where you're calling from? It seems you're far away from your radio set itself, or maybe you're using a headset or something. Please do well to call us back. Sunday Angola says, good morning, Sir Maestro. Akpabio said in Benin during the campaign that we don't need leaders who speak a grammar. It is sad. It is sad we have this set of rulers and governance. Olani Itokwe says.
Well, you see, I think we all know Akpabio. And, and that's their thing. Honestly, I'm not really bothered about this thing. I'm more worried about the police officer who was killed. I'm more worried about the process that appears to be cutting people away from the crime scene to hundreds of kilometers away. I'm worried about that. And I'm also worried about a governor, given immunity, shielded, saying he will burn in the entire country, blah, 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 and then switching to cold, now so cold. When he was asked to sign peace accord, he said he wasn't signing, and so on and so forth. Those things, do worry people who have been given so much, and returning so little. That's what worries me. This Akpabio is saying what he believes he should say, during their campaigns.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Taganima, where you're calling from.
Thanks for all the discussions, and thanks to Maestro and the madam speaking there. My name is Sibaje Wale. I am concerned that Nigerians are worrying on issues that does not concern them. Have one refineries, they are not functioning. We're not relying on a private man, a business entrepreneur, a bourgeoisie. He established the place to make money. We should allow him to build his own fuel stations in Nigeria and be selling at 1 million for a liter. Let Nigeria reactivate and rehabilitate their own refinery. And we can start to Nigerians at 1 naira per liter. This is terrible. They're only wasting our life, wasting our time. I wanted to make a suggestion the other time. Maestro cut me off. That we are talking
How did I cut you off?
Because I was talking, you blocked me off.
Okay, make the suggestion. What's the suggestion? Make it now.
To you, when I was talking about the harmonization of wages in Nigeria, we have wages crisis in Nigeria. It has become a bastardizing situation that you and I went to the same university, and when we come out to, I got a job with the federal government or state government, and we pay peanuts. Why are you working with NMPC, working with Chevron, we'll be having millions. And we have the same background. We have the same qualifications. And again, let me now recall the issue. That is policy in Nigeria. Why? The spill over June 12 is what is happening now. As at 23 Agidi, we do not have this problem of fuel wahala. It was the case of June 12th that destroyed the refinery.
Okay, sir.
And up to now, we have not escaped from the problem. We are still receiving the gains. Go and have Kokori, what they did to the refinery. When they were protesting for, then who is Babangida?
All right.
Who is Babangida? They put us into this problem.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
But it's not possible that I cut you off. Number one, my hand is not on the button to either cut you off or let you go on. Number two, the only reason why I would have probably objected on the mic is maybe you said something that our superintendents will not approve. If you did that, you probably hear my voice. And you'll hear my voice, but not see my hand on the button. So I didn't cut you off.
Olani Temizakwe said, when NNPC import a petrol, NNPC sold it at 650, but now NNPC will buy it locally. NNPC wants to sell it 850.
So there hasn't been a local exchange. That's the worry.
Yes.
And we want it like yesterday. That's what we are saying.
Okay.
We want it to happen like yesterday.
Emmy Stevenson says, Maestro, but can you compare this erosion with the water they used to use before? I think that is the case of Maiduguri. And this one from Olusegun Alexander said, Maestro didn't say Femi Falana and Gani Fawemi were no longer activists when they contested elections in this country. And Maestro, this is quite lengthy. Those guys probably saw that they weren't able to make the sort of impact they wanted to make shouting from outside. They would still have been contesting if they thought they could win the elections. Showore contesting the election.
No, that's what you are saying is not valid. That's why I created a distinction between someone who is still contesting
and someone who contested.
And someone who did once. Femi Falana contested once and stopped. Chief Gani Fawemi contested once and stopped. And they returned to their jobs because they had jobs. These are fantastic lawyers. And then they also returned to their activism, which is their chosen path. So it's very clear. Don't let's even compare these apples and oranges.
I said it is also wrong to say that Tinubu is being accused of treason during the military era is not the same with the present Showore situation. It is the same reactionary mindset of government, and the intent is to quell any form of dissent.
I don't know how old you are.
Quarters.
You will know that there is a difference when a military administrator like Abacha is accusing you of treason. You will know it's a different ball game entirely. So when we talk about these things, we are not being trivial. You cannot compare these things. So somebody accused you of treason, and then they collected your paper and so on, and in a matter of minutes, you're gone. So you are comparing that with how a lot of people were, deleted from life over such a. You are comparing that with a Babangida accusing his bosom friend, his childhood friend that they grew up together, attained the ranks of generals together, and he was executed. I'm talking about Mama Vatsa. So that's what you're comparing, Abi. Good luck to you.
Shala Ocho says, on the suffering and the petrol price increase, Dangote is not a problem. Not even NNPC. The NNPC cannot do anything without the support of the president. The federal government seems to be deliberately allowing the masses to suffer.
That's not very clear, and we should put these things in perspective all the time we talk about it, because you might mislead a lot of people. The truth is that NNPC is the constant factor. In all these things we are saying, NNPC has been constantly doing what it's doing now for a very long time. And did you see when the regulatory people came and said Dangote's oil was this and that, it was this and that?
The quality.
That is the conduct of, you must factor it into whatever conclusions you have. Soldier go, soldier come. NNPC is there, always doing what it's doing. So when we cannot put these things in proper perspective, we cannot arrive at the correct conclusions.
Asantaiwo says, even with the CNG buses and their kita, problems have been adjusted because of the kind of people we are and our system. The cooking gas, which is supposed to be a blessing to us, has turned otherwise. We can all see this. Let's go pay some bills when we're back. We'll take more calls and more comments and round off the program this morning.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
I'm in love, Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Easy to open, easy to squeeze.
honey and tomato mix in a new standard pouch.
Hero Hunter bike is here again, Better motorcycle we go serve you well. 18 months, warranty. Get 18 months, warranty. Hero Hunter bike, 18 months, warranty. Hero Hunter bike, better buy to serve you well. Oh. Hero Hunter bike, save money and save your fuel. Oh. Hero Hunter bike, get 18 months warranty.
Babies are God's gifts to parents, and breast milk is God's gift to babies. It contains all the important nutrients and minerals your baby needs, including water, for the first 6 months. Give your baby breast milk only. Remember, breast milk only for the first 6 months. This message is from the Anrin Project or your State Ministry of Health.
Start your day and have a good time. Kivo Crema. Where you need to have the break time. Kivo Crema. It's not tea or margarita. Kivo Crema. Kivo Crema. When you wake up in the morning, you wanna start your day. Start with Kellogg's. So you can lead your grace. Stay active and alert.
I always want what's best for my family. That's why we ensure we start our day with a Kellogg's breakfast, fortified with essential vitamins and minerals to stay active and alert to reach your
Cause
grace.
breakfast time is Kellogg's time. Tell me, do you love this family?
Abuja, brace up as Nigerian Christian Couples Fellowship Alumni International NCCFAI presents the first global reunion service, G-Roots 2024. Theme: Now is the time. Isaiah 62 from verse 1 to 12. Our theme for this year reflects our commitment to ushering in a transformative period for our nation Nigeria. We anticipate a great gathering of all Nigerian Christians who have participated in the NYSC program since 1973. Happening live at the National Ecumenical Center, Abuja, Nigeria. Friday the 20th and Saturday the 21st of September 2024. Friday 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Ministry at great men and women of God from around the world. For more inquiry, 0703-830-1203. NCCFAI Global Reunion Service 2024. Now is the time.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
Kehinde Oyeled on our Facebook page says, Maestro, I used to think that you caught the phone back then. Until now that I have money, I have data to see you go cheers.
You used to think I did what?
You caught the phone back then. You used to think you do it.
I never did. You see, the point is, in radio stations, you always have studio managers.
Of course.
You have people with their fingers on the button. I might express my displeasure at, what a particular person is doing because I know the consequences, sometimes of what people say on air. And but I'm not going to be the one that will cut you off eventually because that's not my job. It's not been my job for a long time.
All right. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, well done.
Yes, sir.
Wuraola, just 30 seconds. Do you know that immediately the fuel was increased? We learned that the vice president summoned NNPC spokesman and some other and the minister for the state for petroleum to query why the increase. Did you hear anything about that?
No, we did not because it wasn't in the news, and you can't say that because
NNPC,
it's peculiar to you.
The NNPC
You
is
can't
a branch of
you
the
can't be
federal
saying
government.
what is not open to everybody. You can't be saying that. What I even thought you called back to say was the needful that you talked about. You should have told us the needful.
So
but now you are giving us a peculiar news item that you collected on your own.
Sulaiman Sheriff says allegations and counter allegations from NNPC and Dangote Refinery really seems federal government of today And the NNPCL are still brainwashing Nigerians with deceit, misinformation, and lack the political will to alleviate the agonies of millions of Nigerians were facing since removal of few subsidies since then till now. May we never lose the real hope.
So what I'm saying again is, I don't cut people off. But you cannot come on air and be talking about the vice president as if, you and the vice president sat and you had, an exclusive. You can't do that because it's against the rule.
Hello, good morning.
No, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm speaking from Alaken.
All right, sir. Your contribution.
Yeah, my contribution is about NNPC. They sold crude to Dangote. Before they sold crude to Dangote in Naira, it was king contest, challenges, and orders. Now, they refine the product is available. They still want to serve as middlemen or otherwise before the fuel will get to the public. Will they buy 5 Naira and sell that 5 Naira? They are still trading with us. For the past 20-something years, NNPC has been moribund. People are suffering. What is the benefit of NNPC? What is the advantage? I think that's really a protest for end NNPC too. But maybe from there, government will wake up. They are manipulating Nigeria at the detriment of their own other personal gain. And it is our national patrimony. Please, the pace is much as per people's feelings on the street. Trekking, feeding, and all that domestic are very, very essential. And it's hard to come by. Please. The government should please help us to do something. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for your contributions. I sincerely appreciate that. Olale Rebayonli says, we should be mindful of the so-called political activist like Showore. He needs to suggest solution or do something in his own environment to prove he can be trusted.
You see, the thing is, we don't even do that. We are here. When we criticize, we try to say this should be it. Every time that we say this is wrong, we try to say this is how it is. But it's not the political culture in our country. All you do is, you say it's wrong. I have not seen one opposition party member say, look at another template. Look at what we are offering you as against what is going on now. You know why? Because they belong to the same system, the same caucus, the same group. They do the same things. They have the same businesses. They do the same kind of stuff. Everything is the same. So, and I'm supposed to be streaming along with that and not have developed a mind of my own to say, I'm not going with that on this occasion. And on the next occasion, I might be interested in that. Because ultimately, we are going to have to come to the conclusion and bond to request restructuring. That is the time we would be taking Nigeria in a different direction. All these ones that we are talking about, oil today, oil tomorrow, when they finish with oil, we'll be talking about some other things. Do you know that the same kind of problem, but not oil, in other countries that don't have oil? The leadership problem is the same all over Africa. So I am supposed to be, toothpicking about my own, because I look at things in a broad fashion. So it is not going to be chickening every day. It's going to be about holistics. That's what we are going to be doing now. That's how you'll be looking at your problem. Occasionally, when Wura comes to ask me, okay, look at this headline, I can talk in contextual terms. But ultimately, we have to be holistic. And that is going to take us to the point where we seriously request restructuring in this country.
All right. Alhaja Babalala, thank you so much for being a fan of the dailies as well as a fan of Shokanwa and at large a fan of Akidigbo FM. We sincerely appreciate you. I might show your pattern shots for today.
Restructuring is what's going to solve this problem. Don't let's forget that. For as much as we come to make sense of all these things that are happening on daily basis, something binds them together. It is this structural integrity that this structure lacks. That's why we're having this kind of problem on daily basis.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. To all those that called in, those who attempted to, and also to those that dropped comments on our Facebook page, we sincerely appreciate you. My name is Wuraola Yusuff, and this is me saying have a nice week. We'll be back tomorrow, of course. Have a nice day.